Uh, when you ask a school-going student, he'll say a space shuttle, uh, the machine that took the mankind to the outer space, or it can be a supercomputer, the machine that solves our complex problems, or it can be a robot, the machine that is the closest replica of man. So when we Google this ultimate driving machine, when you ask the Google this search engine that is the analogous to the human mind, when you ask him that what is the ultimate driving machine, he answers that BMW, the tagline of BMW is the ultimate driving machine. So now I would like to ask you, is all these machines are the ultimate driving machine, or is it the one who created these machines? So as our competitors, they said that human beings are the ultimate driving machine. I would like to specify that it is, I think, the brain that is the ultimate driving machine. Not specifically Cristiano Ronaldo. I think each and every one of you who has the brain is the ultimate driving machine. Also, it is the brain that has given us dream, believe, and achieve. So I would like now Saurav to come here.
Now the question arises is, what is brain? So let's get on the facts first. A recent artificial intelligence project funded by Silicon Valley pioneer Elon Musk suggested that a brain is 30 times faster than a supercomputer. So, what does that mean? That means that a brain, if you rent out your brain's supercomputation, if you rent out your brain's computational power for an hour, you can earn around something around $4,700 to $107,000 for an hour. That's a huge amount of money. The human brain is far more advanced, efficient than the most impressive supercomputer ever built. The machines are based on logics, maths, predictability, reproducibility. On the other hand, a brain is a tangled random maze of neurons which does not behave in a predictable manner. So now the question that arises is, how efficient is brain compared to a machine or supercomputer? The calculations and processes that can be done by a supercomputer is far less efficient than a brain. It has been found through research. It takes the things that takes a few millions of steps for a computer. On the other hand, it takes a few hundred neuron transmission for a brain to compute the same calculations or processes. So it is far more efficient and requires less energy. Brains are evolved from biological evolution, whereas the machines or computers have evolved from technological evolution. So who is the creator of this technological evolution? It's this guy, the brain. So now the question that comes to my mind is, how unique is brain compared to a machine which qualifies it as the ultimate driving machine?
We know that brain helps us to do our daily duties very easily. But what makes the brain the ultimate driving machine? What are the characteristics? The first characteristic is creativity. We know that the brain does not work in a fixed formula. It gives a different ways to solve the problem or to do the job. Here comes the creativity. We can take the example of handloom industry. Each and every products are different and unique. The second characteristic is adaptability. The brain can adapt to any different environment and condition very easily. The best example we can take is the brain of a child. You put him to any different new environment, such as different kind of languages or a different kind of cultures. He can adapt in very quick time. The third characteristic is diversity. We know that in every human being, the brain is different, whether in terms of size, the level of thinking, or the way of thinking. So when we collectively put all the brain together, what we get? The diversity of thought. Here comes, for example, take the case of the parliament or the process in which the movie is made. And the fourth and the most important characteristic of the brain is the power of the brain. The brain does not have any limitation. The more you push it, the more you get it. Take the example of Daniel Tammet. He holds the record for telling the value of pi for the maximum number of digits, that is 22,514. Now, we will see what brain has given to the society, the development of the society and the world.
So, the greatest achievement of human brain, of course, are the most common and most significant inventions, such as wheel, electricity, fire engines, and printing machine, internet, and technology, which drives our entire human civilization. To take a deeper look into the human civilization, we are transformed from hunters and gatherers to civilized and globalized males and females. But it would be a huge mistake on our parts if we consider that brain works in isolation. It works as a machine of collective brains. We are constantly gathering and registering information through our 5 senses. Likewise, if we take the example of this auditorium, while am I speaking and some of them in the audiences are listening and trying to interpret what actually our topic is. And some of them are just only listening, and few of them are wondering that when will it get over. And so it concludes that brain is a machine which is constantly working. It is sleepless, whether it is day or night. Brain is constantly gathering information from our surroundings through internet, books, people, strangers, visuals, or audios. Even when we are sleeping, brain works subconsciously in our dreams, through our dreams, and also it drives all the involuntary actions in our body. This thinking machine is actually fueled by the knowledge and learning and our critical thoughts, and also our critical thoughts, which actually motivates it to innovate through more creative ideas and persuade it to convert into concrete beliefs. Likewise, take the construction of this whole campus. It is a very thoughtful architecture which has also taken into consideration the requirements of IMK students, and also it is constructed so beautifully that even if it rains, we are able to do our day-to-day activities outside the campus.
Right, I can testify to that, and maybe my group mates too. So far, I think we have argued that how brain is a machine, and not just a machine, but the ultimate machine. 16 billion neurons, each connected to 10,000 other neurons. It's a mind-boggling computational power, and this ultimate machine is driving the human civilization, as the last speaker said, from cave dwellers that we were to present-day alpha male and female that we are here, the go-getters, and living in a model world which is kind of straight out of science fiction novels. 99% of the population, our research says, could not even conceive of smartphones just 15 years ago. And yet here we are. But there's one singular feature of brain that transcends itself, not just as an ultimate computational machine, but perhaps as a machine that can ever be made by human mind. And that singular factor would be, I suppose, its ability to conceive something out of nothing. Its ability to generate ideas. The brain dreams, it conceptualizes, it ideates, it contemplates, it theorizes, hypothesizes, and create words so difficult like hypothesizes. And so this ability, so one of the earlier speakers actually defined machine as something that makes our tasks easier, but brain has far transcended that, because if we see one of our functions, writing has a utilitarian function. We can use that to perhaps to create accounts and maintain the ledger, but we have transcended that. And if we can show the next slide. Right, we create poetry, which has no utilitarian purpose. We have learned to draw symbols. The cave dwellers did that, and there was very essential survival reasons for that. But we have learned to capture moments into paintings. And again, here we are talking about an abstract topic and interpreting it in different ways. And that's again a function that no conceivable machine, no matter how fast its computational power is, maybe one day a supercomputer far exceeds the human capability. Still, it is argued that they won't have the ability to draw meaning or to talk about morality, for example. And here's a figure of dancers, something as simple as body language, something as simple as body movement. When you add grace and rhythm to it, it transforms into dance. And that's something this ultimate driving machine can do. And just a few years ago, if you can, human beings, they looked up into the sky and they would see this tiny little shiny dots. They would connect and make a pattern out of it, call it there's a Cancer here, and some patterns, and we would name those constellations. 300 years later, 400 years later, we have the theory of relativity, one of the most toughest and complex theories to come out of human brain. And yet, this theory is being studied right now by undergraduate students in every science and engineering college across the world. So that's the power of human brain and the way it evolves. By the way, it is one of the only machines, in fact, it is the only machine in the world that has the ability to study itself. It is aware of itself. And so I think that's just an MBA guy thinking about perhaps how to make money. But I wanted to, I'll come back to this capability of human brain to conceive something out of nothing. It has driven us so far. And this capability is going to drive human civilization further into unknown. And my friend would take that. On that note, I would invite him.
Now, the final question comes, the ultimate question comes out, it's what's going to be the future? What our brain is aiming to do? What are we thinking to do? What are we moving towards to? The scientists thought out, if the brain can do so much things, why can't we emulate it? Why can't a technology comes out of it, and that the technology can itself work out as a brain? So they came out with artificial intelligence. What's an artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence perceives the surrounding. It's a system that perceives the surrounding itself and then tries to increase the chances of its success to achieve the goal. Now, for example, I will give an example. If somebody remembers, now 2 or 3 months, Microsoft came out with a bot, a Twitter bot, that actually became a famous experiment. Anybody remembers the name of the bot? Tay. No. Now, what the idea behind Tay was, it can actually learn from the tweets of the people who are there in the Twitter and actually then answer to those tweets. An actually amazing thing to think about, that we can actually code a machine to actually do that. Then 2 days ago, there's a movie trailer came out. Anybody knew about that? That was made by IBM's Watson. Anybody knows that? So the movie was Morgan. You can actually go and see. It's a 1-minute trailer, and it's made by IBM's Watson. It's an artificial intelligence. How it did that, it actually took 100 horror movies, created a database, created a system, and from using that system, it actually took the movie, created a 6-minute trailer, and a person came in, converted into a 1-minute trailer, and actually did the task. Now, The ultimate question comes out that the point that is being brought out by Elon Musk or Bill Gates or Stephen Hawking is that this artificial intelligence, if can become self-aware, might become a problem to us. If it starts dreaming, believing, and achieving, it might actually become a problem for us. I have a video for you that actually can show you out what could happen.
For one, our capacity for reason has remained unchanged. The combined intellect of the neuroscientists, engineers, mathematicians, and hackers in this auditorium pales in comparison to even the most basic AI. Once online, a sentient machine will quickly overcome the limits of biology. And in a short time, its analytical power will be greater than the collective intelligence of every person born in the history of the world. So now imagine such an entity with a full range of human emotion, even self-awareness. Some scientists refer to this as the singularity. I call it transcendence.
Now, Johnny Depp doesn't gives me this idea a lot of credibility, but this is a possibility, this transcendence. Something like Skynet, we actually see in movies, Skynet, hell, it ultimately became a problem for us. It may be a bleak future, but it's a possibility. Now, what can else be done? Now, we have a brain on with us. Why can't we use it? Why can't we continue this brain, make it immortal? Benjamin Franklin one day went into a pub in London and poured his wine and actually had 3 dead flies in his glass. What happened half an hour later, those 2 flies flew out of that wine. So Franklin, in the mind of Franklin, a point came out, why can't it be possible that I can incarcerate my body into a wine barrel and actually wake up 100 years later and see how America is functioning? Now that age was quite early, but now it's a possibility. I'm not talking about cryogenics, which actually make a person live again, but I'm talking about uploading a mind, data mapping. Neuroscientists in the current scenario are actually planning to create a system in which you can upload your mind. Think about the possibilities. The best minds of our current world, Hawking, Gates, Chomsky, all remaining immortal. Their bodies aren't there, but the thinking process, their mind are still there. In the future, these minds and our own minds with evolution will become the powerful thing. This driving machine will become a perpetual driving machine. This driving machine will lead us to a better future, to a better tomorrow, to lead the human society to greatness. Finally, I would like to introduce my team, Akshat Sharma, Dinesh Lakra, Saurav Roy, Swati Nimze, and Mohit Pari, and myself, Rajesh Srivastav, and thank you again for listening to us.
My question's for Akshat. My question's for Akshat. Can you name pi to 10 digits? Can you say the value of pi to 10 digits?
No, sorry, I can't.
So, in what context do you say brain is the ultimate machine?
It is not necessary that you have to compute something. It is, see, I'm speaking, I'm standing here. These are the basic functions. You should not forget the basic functions. First, you go for the basics and then you evolve, okay? So I just wanted to tell you that each and every one of you who has brain is important because that's how you are differentiated from the animal kingdom.
Okay, sir. I mean, what my point is, you are inferior in one aspect, so that doesn't make you ultimate. That's simpler logic.
Okay.
So we have machines that can compute the value of pi, right? Who created that machine?
Got your logic.
Yeah.
Let's apply. Okay. Let's go one step back further. Who created the brain? The evolving force of nature. Then shouldn't that be the ultimate driving machine?
Which is what? Which would be what?
Nature, the evolution process.
Evolution is the process, right? It's not a machine. Machine is created by processes.
Point to be noted. Very valid point, yes.
Hi, I agree to the point that you said brain is the ultimate machine. So you have taken all the positive aspects, how the civilization came in, and then you decided that brain is the ultimate driving force. The same brain has led to Syria war. Same brain has led to bombing in Hiroshima. So how do you differentiate a brain which has caused those many things, and even at one time the same brain is leading to a development, the same development is causing deforestation? How do you differentiate that with the ultimate brain?
A great machine is capable of great destruction, and the ultimate machine is capable of bringing ultimate destruction. We might end up destroying ourselves. So it doesn't make invalid the point that it is still the ultimate driving machine.
Dinosaur comes and destroys all our brains. Does that mean dinosaur becomes the ultimate machine?
Sorry, how's that? I couldn't understand the logic.
You just said if a particular something comes which can destroy everything or which can create everything, that becomes the ultimate driving machine.
No, I'm saying a machine has the capability to do good also or bad also. So an ultimate machine would have the capability to do ultimate good as well as ultimate bad.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
the power is manifold.
power of that machine defines.
Yeah.
whether- Okay.
Like a super villain still has a super heroic powers. They are just putting it to bad use. Yeah.
Hi team. Throughout the session you just spoke about brain. Is the brain the only ultimate machine? Can't you think of any other perspective, any other things? I'm asking about your interpretation. Is it the only ultimate machine?
Oh, the question was, it's an abstract topic. Now it's on us to what we are interpreting. We can take any example. They had taken vision, they had taken BMW. It's on us what we want. We interpret it as brain. So it's not necessary for us to actually put up what kind of other ultimate machines are there.
After listening to your presentation, I kind of led to believe that brain is a ultimate mean of achieving something rather than ultimate driving machine. Suppose I have a super brain, but I like to sleep for 18 hours a day. Then how can I achieve something? So it's like a mean rather than a driving machine.
Suppose it, you have a super brain. Believe in yourself.
But that doesn't answer the question, no?
Yeah, the answer to that question would be the mere existence of a machine does not translate into its productivity. You will have to switch it on and put it to good use. So have some Red Bulls, I suppose.
Is there a neuroscientist in your team? No? Thank you very much for your presentations, all three teams, But while you are there, I'd like to make a special mention of the last presentation because I thought this is how a presentation should be. It's not just that there are many things, that I think, we could focus on. Their coordination was extremely good, and I really like that. And also the way they interpreted the abstract topic, right? And in fact, if I were them, I would have interpreted this topic this way only. Right, so not because it matched with my expectation that they did well, but I thought the way they handle the questions also is very impressive, and that means I can really vouch for them, right? They have done their homework. It requires at least 3 rounds of practice. I don't know how many rounds they have done, but maybe they're super talented if they haven't done anything. But I think there was a good team coordination, and that should be reflected when you come on the stage and present, right? And try to take the topic to a different level. That is where your strength is, so that the people, your audience, may not be able to foresee what is coming. Cannot predict things. Once at the very beginning, if you become predictable, it's all gone, right? So that is another thing I wanted to discuss with you. What I will do, I'll share the video records of all your presentation for you to go back, re-look. Of course, it doesn't mean that they don't have further room for improvement. You always have that scope, right? Only if you understand that this is something that you really have to get better at. There's no way you can escape public speaking. Now that you are in a management school, you would be the future, not just manager, the future leader, and future leader must motivate people, right? And it's not the motivational thing, even when you must pursue others. Persuasion comes first before you motivate others, right? So there are many things that you can learn from these sessions. Hopefully, peer learning is very important, and this is what is happening here, right? All right, thank you.